We begin the surgery by cutting into the cracks and removing the outer skins, little at a time until we've got all the core exposed. Here's all the pieces that we took out. And then we sand away the core and scarf the outer pieces so that we're ready to go. This is Total Boat Polyester Resin. Here we are at Twisted Oyster Boat Works. Zoe Dog. Zoe Dog helps me out. What do you think, Zoe? You gonna come talk to us? It had a punctured side where it got T-boned, and what we've done is we've removed the outer skin and scarfed away the core material. This is a vacuum resin infused boat, and found that the inner laminate is a bidirectional stitch mat. The structural side I want inside the repair. Mat is now on the outside. I've used my Sonic Crafter in here and my vacuum sander to cut away the material. The next step will be to mark the interior glass because we've got two surfaces to repair. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start marking where I want this glass to stop. So now we cut the fabric. Regular pair of scissors on glass fabric works fine. We need to resin that on there. And then we also need some MEK. Hardens up the resin. And I'm using Total Boat resin. I'm a real big fan of Total Boat. About an ounce or so. Now for this amount of resin at this temperature, I really don't need a whole lot of MEK. So I'm going to guesstimate about 10 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now as I mix this blue resin, it starts changing color, which indicates that the MEK is doing its thing. Okay. Once you have the MEK mixed up, you need to get right with the program because this stuff does not mess around. Some of this resin on the repair side. Get it worked into what core is left there. I took most of the core off, especially because I'm using the structural side. I want to be careful to get a nice even dispersion of this on the structural side. Plus, when I start working on the other side, the mat won't want to stick around very long. It'll want to migrate as I brush the resin on. We got the inner laminate on there. I managed to keep myself fairly clean. And I want to completely saturate this all. 12 drops was obviously plenty. You can see the color is not blue anymore. The more of the amber color it gets, the quicker it's going to set up, really. So I'm trying to get this inner surface planed out and repaired. Sometimes people try to fish a piece inside and laminate it to the back side of the inner core. The problem with that is you can't really guarantee that you're going to have a very good surface. It won't soak in completely because the core material is meant for vacuum resin infusion. So it's designed to adhere to resin but not accept it like it was some kind of foam. We have the sides of the inner laminate that I put in there. It's all cured up and it's ground down to accept some replacement core / fairing compound. I decided to go ahead and make my own custom putty with a lot of micro balloons and just the right amount of Total Boat polyester laminating resin. Okay, I'm gonna put in 15 drops, and that should help replace the core, and then I'll be able to grind that down. It's still no wax, so I'll get a really good bond to the outside, but it'll be sticky. See, so I'm gonna put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Alright, so I went a little further
because as I was doing that, I realized that whenever you have a filler material, it keeps the hardener from getting everywhere so easily. We're going to start putting this on because it is likely to go off. So we're going to put it on a little bit with the stick. I think maybe it'll start. So with plastic squeegee. And we're starting our leveling process. It is pretty warm out here right now. It's in the 80s. We'll have to do this several times because it never, no matter how smooth you think you're getting it, as soon as you sand it and you start working with it, it's never as smooth as you want. I also need to put on another layer of glass. So, you know, we're not trying to fill this up totally flat yet, because we have to keep that glass layer below the surface of the boat. Part of the workmanship here is knowing when you need to quit when you're working with putty. I always clean my tools. They say you can just let the resin cure on here. Yeah, right. If you do, then your squeegee will start getting ratty. Now I fast forward a little bit here. I've got as much material as I think I need here, and I'm about ready to put on an outer layer of glass. So I'm going with a 6-ounce glass to plane out the outsides. That's probably going to take another ounce of resin, maybe a little less. So pour out an ounce. So I did 7 drops. Now notice that I'm rolling the stick over, right? Roll it over and over to squeeze the excess resin off. That's really a habit I got from epoxy. It's not quite as sensitive when you're using polyester on the mix, but I do probably overmix my polyester. Okay, so we're gonna brush this on. I pre-cut my glass this time. I found my pencil. So, but I cut it oversized anyway, because I'm going to limit where I put the glass based on how I put the resin on instead of. Okay, so once you've got this on here, wet out your glass. One reason to leave it bigger is so that you don't have to worry about the edges, because the edge glass will have a problem. I got a little close over here, so I'm going to use all of what I got. Yeah. The value of glass is that you can see where you're going, because it turns clear as you get the resin on it. When you're and sand off some of this glass. So I moved to some 80 grit paper on my Bosch sander grinder, and I'm going to go ahead and turn it back up a little bit, and we'll finish out the edges a little more. So we've got a squeegee here and some green fairing compound and some cream hardener. I'm going to put this in there. So here we go. We got to mix this till the color is all the same. Right? Can't have any streaks in it. Gotta scrape the thing off, put it back in there. Coat of fairing compound has been faired, and we're ready for another layer of fairing compound. Well, as per what I always find, I need one more coat of fairing compound, and we're down to 180 grit sandpaper now. Okay, it's evening time now, and we've sprayed. Sorry I didn't videotape it. It usually involves some choice words because I have this like love-hate relationship with gel coat. However, the T-bone was somewhere in that area. It's not smooth yet. Okay? If you look back here, you can see the rough patch. But it's not a bad color match so far. This needs to be sanded and buffed out. So what I need to do right now is wait just a few minutes, well, 10-15 minutes, and then cover it with saran so that it will cure. So we'll be back when there's more. It's early in the morning, about 7:30 on July 4th. And now I'm taking the saran wrap off. After spraying, I waited about 15 minutes, put saran wrap on it so that it would help cure the resin, which doesn't like to cure the presence of oxygen. And now I've begun the wet sanding process. You might be able to see some of the water on there. So I'll start over again. I'm starting with 320 grit sandpaper, which might be a little optimistic. I probably should be really using 220. Would be a lot faster.